So, in my family, when I was little, my dad and mom both had psychiatric issues. My mom had agoraphobia, panic attacks, and my dad exhibited bipolar 2 conditions. He'd get real angry and explode because of his depression. He's bipolar 2, but nobody really diagnosed it back in the 70s and the 50s so they ended up trying to straighten him out by sending him into the military. He went to William and Mary, but he's a smart guy, but he really did suffer. But in the divorce, he couldn't make a living, because of his illness. And he had studied business. He could have been very, very wealthy and maybe even a senator, but he just couldn't do it because he was having troubles. But anyway, I got an eating disorder. My mom had distanced herself from me because we had to pick sides somewhat, and I was on my dad's side and had been for years with my grandmommy, and my grandmommy didn't like my mom because my dad didn't like her. He wasn't happy. I remember one time she told us that she just wanted to pull over and get a bottle of water, but my dad wouldn't do it, and I guess she was having a panic attack. But anyway, the main thing that happened was we were just so distant from each other. We never knew. And my granddad said, he goes, "Do any of y'all know where you are?" We weren't. It was really devastating. And my dad was afraid of losing the farm. We're an old Virginia family with a farm. That doesn't mean we have money. It just means we have Confederate money. But so my mom wanted the money from selling the farm, and my dad's pretty much his raison d'etre is to hold on to that piece of property. It's about all he can hold on to. And so my dad came to me and asked me to testify against my mother for abuse. And as a child, a teenager, I wanted safety. I wanted to be taken care of, and I wanted to believe my dad when he said that my mom was crazy. So I did testify, and I thought it would be to my benefit, that my dad would help me and be there for me. But no, he wasn't. He just basically just used me. And then my mom had made a bad decision too, because she knew that my dad did not want to lose that farm. And she had family to help her. They gave her a house and stuff like that. So it wasn't really necessary that she had that piece of property. So anyway, I suffered because I was a kid and I had to go testify. And I think what helped us, and then I got bipolar, and my mom kind of stepped up to the plate and went to NAMI and tried to figure out how to help me. So they're both good people, but people have issues. And so when she went to NAMI, she also got help for her psychiatric chemical imbalance in her brain. And for the first time in her life, she hadn't had panic attacks trying to drive out of town. She could actually go places. And my dad really never received help. To him, it was like when I used to lose my temper, he'd be like, "Oh, I bet your head's spinning around and you're going to explode." It's like a character flaw. And I was like, "No, actually, I'm on Seroquel. I'm good. I don't lose my temper really anymore." So it's just not necessary. I can get more done not losing my temper than I can get losing my temper. And so I can sympathize with my kids that they're stuck in the middle. And for years in that marriage, I went places with my mouth shut and just made the best of it that I could and tried to get it better and change it so we could stay together as a family. But it just wouldn't work. And I guess that's why I have a real sensitivity to never getting involved with someone who's married, or in a serious relationship, because if kids are involved, it's just so painful.